In today's lesson, I'm going to be talking about the best alternatives to Aliexpress in 2023. If you're a dropshipper and you're looking for better prices, better shipping times, and a more streamlined process, then this is the perfect lesson for you. In this video, I'm going to cover 3 methods, each with a different barrier to entry, so that there is a method in here that works for everyone watching. Without any further ado, let's begin. To start, I would like to highlight the common issues with Aliexpress. Number 1, it is very inefficient to fulfill orders at scale with Aliexpress. The most common advice I see online is to use Aliexpress and Oberlo to fulfill orders. Even if you're using an app like Oberlo, you are still required to fulfill orders one by one, which can be incredibly time-consuming at scale. People hire VAs to do this, but even then, you're still adding a layer of complexity that is not required. So Aliexpress is very inefficient to fulfill orders at scale. Number 2, large markup. Another issue is that there's very large markups on Aliexpress. Yes, the products are very cheap on Aliexpress, which is why it's so widely recommended online, but the truth is that your Aliexpress supplier is also a dropshipper. See, it's a common misconception that the Aliexpress supplier is the manufacturer. Most Aliexpress suppliers do not actually manufacture the product. They are the middleman between the manufacturer and you. This leads to larger price markups, longer lead times, and poor customer service. If you want to own a long-term dropshipping business and you want to operate this business efficiently, going through middlemen is not a viable option. Number 3, poor communication. With Aliexpress suppliers, there are huge communication issues. When you message an Aliexpress supplier, expect the response times to be long. And when you do get a response, if you even get one at all, expect there to be a challenging language barrier to overcome and expect misunderstandings and miscommunications to run rampant. So with Aliexpress, you have very poor communication and no idea what is happening with your supply chain, which is another reason why Aliexpress is not a viable option to operate this business efficiently. Number 4, long processing and long shipping time. As we've covered earlier, many Aliexpress suppliers are dropshippers. This means that many Aliexpress suppliers must order and receive the product before they can fulfill the order on your behalf. This can lead to very long processing times. The processing time can last up to 7 days, and during that time, you will not have a tracking number to provide to your customers, and the order will not be marked as fulfilled on your Shopify backend. This will naturally lead to customers complaining and placing chargebacks because they're worried about their order not being shipped yet. But it doesn't stop there. When you combine long processing times with long shipping times from cheap and inefficient shipping carriers, the total time it takes for the product to be delivered to your customer can range from 20 to 40 days. This is going to significantly impact your business in a negative way. You want to avoid these problems, and the best way to do this is to move away from Aliexpress. Now, let's cover the best alternatives to Aliexpress dropshipping. The first alternative is the lowest barrier to entry and is for people that are just starting out with dropshipping. This is for people that are just getting started, maybe doing a couple orders per day, and don't want to deal with Aliexpress. What I recommend is Zendrop. This is what I use to test products. One of the negatives of Zendrop is that the products are a bit more expensive, but when you take into consideration the efficiency it adds to your business and the excellent quality of communication, Zendrop is a great alternative. Zendrop was founded in the United States by American entrepreneur Jared Getz, who is actually a former dropshipper himself. As a former dropshipper himself, Jared understands the complexities of the business model and built Zendrop to be solution-oriented. Zendrop partners with wholesalers, manufacturers, and fulfillment warehouses around the world to provide fast shipping, automatic order fulfillment, great communication, and the option to private label your product after you find a winner. This means fewer processing delays, fewer headaches manually fulfilling orders, less of a communication barrier, and the option to turn your winning product into a real private labeled brand. To give you a real life example, let's say you wanted to sell this crystal hair eraser. On Aliexpress, the product costs $3.40 plus $2.16 for tracked shipping, totaling $5.56. On Zendrop, the product costs $3.80 plus $4.84 for tracked shipping, totaling $8.64. The total cost of goods for the product on Zendrop is a bit over $3 more, but the orders are fulfilled automatically, there is less processing delays, the shipping is faster, and the communication is great. That's why ZenDrop is a great alternative to AliExpress. The second alternative I'm going to cover in this lesson is using a dropshipping agent. This option has a higher barrier to entry because to work with an agent, you need to be doing a minimum of 20 to 50 orders per day, but it is a good option if you're at this level. Allow me to explain to you the way that dropshipping agents work. The way that dropshipping agents work is that you send the agent a link to the product and they find out where they can source the product for the cheapest price possible. Then the agent buys the product in bulk and stores it in a warehouse. Most times, agents will have their own Shopify app for you to install to your store, giving them access to everything they need to fulfill orders and edit customer data. When your store receives orders, the agent will pick, pack, ship, upload the tracking numbers, and mark the order as fulfilled in Shopify. The agent will send you an itemized Excel spreadsheet with all of the order information along with the cost associated with fulfilling the orders, and you will send the agent a bulk payment, typically on a weekly basis. This method is cheaper than AliExpress, offers faster shipping for customers, saves time for the business owner, and increases profit margins by lowering costs. Something that is notable to mention is that you can also avoid processing delays by keeping a balance with your dropshipping agent. For example, you can keep a balance of $3,000 with your agent to manage your inventory. Your agent will forecast inventory and manage stock so that you never run out of inventory in the warehouse and you never run into processing delays. A benefit of dropshipping agents is faster shipping times. You're still shipping from China, so there's a limit to how fast the shipping can be, but you can work with your agent to use the most efficient shipping lines. To find a dropshipping agent, you can put a job posting out on Upwork or reach out to your network and see if there's anybody who can refer you to an agent. If there's anybody watching this video who has over 20 orders per day and wants to be referred to my dropshipping agent, I'm happy to do that. Just send me a DM on Instagram and I can refer you to my agent. The final alternative that I'm going to be talking about in this lesson is fulfillment centers. Fulfillment centers have the highest barrier to entry out of all of the methods that I've talked about, but it is also the method that offers the most control and the fastest shipping times. This is what large e-commerce brands use, and this is my preferred method of choice. Fulfillment centers give you full control over your supply chain and inventory. You forecast your own inventory and you manage your own stock. Orders are shipped out immediately and typically arrive to customers within 5 days. Orders can even arrive sometimes same day or the next day, depending on the location of your customers and fulfillment centers. This method is more complex than the methods mentioned previously in the lesson, but when you want to build a real legitimate e-commerce business rather than a dropshipping business, this is the method that you want to use. That's all for this lesson on the best alternatives to AliExpress dropshipping in 2023. If you learned something new, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you learned. If you haven't yet, make sure you join my Discord community. It's the first link in the description. Inside, you'll be able to network with like-minded e-commerce entrepreneurs and ask me any questions if you get stuck. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.